Studies, and I'm working as the Community Engagement Coordinator for the Southwestern community. Well, it first emerged as a way for students to get involved in the process of making their own food, knowing that there are issues with the way conventional food is produced, environmental and social. So that gave students a space to have an alternative to conventional agriculture, to having to go to the store, and to feeling empowered and enabled and growing their own food, you know. And then from there we started branching out and realizing that not only was this an issue for us, you know, to try to improve the way we live our lives, but also there are food hunger issues in just the Georgetown area, right where we live, and trying to engage with the community I think was really important for everybody, and in realizing that this environmental issue about how we produce our food kind of was very, very intimately linked to food hunger. So working at the community garden right now, I'm working on building partnerships with Meals on Wheels, which is a senior center that prevents food insecurity and food hunger for seniors in the Georgetown area. And we are growing produce in the garden and donating it to them every week, once every week. And then another aspect of that is that we're working on building a partnership with other centers in Georgetown that focus on food insecurity, and some of the upcoming ones are probably the Nest, which is the Georgetown homeless shelter that's just getting its feet started. So really we're just talking about how we can collaborate. Along with donating produce, also provide a structure that allows the people of the community that are dealing with food insecurity and food hunger issues to be able to grow food themselves, so that they are actively engaged in the process of making their own food, and we're trying to allow them to supplement their food income that way as well. So we've had a few experiences with trying to build partnerships before, some that worked and some that didn't. And it's taught us a little bit about what it means to build a partnership with somebody and what are the best ways to build a relationship within the community. And part of that process just involves getting out and talking to people and being a part of understanding like what their goals are. I guess as a, you know, take Meals on Wheels for example. What are their goals? What do they seek to provide seniors? And what are their needs? What are they looking to get, you know, that they may not have already, like what kind of institutional support or just aid do they need, and then seeing if our needs and our goals also align with that. And so in talking to Meals on Wheels, you know, we called up the head of the center, and we're like, you know, we're a community garden and we have this produce and we're really interested in donating it to you guys. And he said, yes, yeah, let's do it. And so that was good, but as you probably can tell, it didn't really involve much more than just me calling him up and then delivering. And so there still wasn't, I guess, a reciprocity in that relationship and kind of a deeper level of connection. And that's something that we're working on right now at this moment. And obviously it takes time to build a meaningful relationship instead of one that's just, you know, like a give or take kind of thing. And so we've been trying to be consistent about going every week at a specific day on Tuesdays, and getting feedback from the seniors about what foods they like, and just answering questions about the food that I'm taking and about who we are. A lot of them obviously aren't aware that there's a community garden on campus, you know, because we operate within the institution, and so just kind of explaining who we are, and meeting with Deanne, who is also, she's, I guess, below the head of the guy I mentioned earlier, but she is on the ground, whereas he's more of leading the whole regional area. And so Deanne has been really helpful and instrumental in letting us know, you know, which days seniors play bingo, you know, and which days they would like for us to come and be with them. And so just building, it's baby steps, you know, trying to figure out how our goals align, what their needs are, what our needs are, and but I think it's working out well. Today we're going to be going over to Meals on Wheels to have lunch with the seniors, and in the process of having lunch, having this shared food experience, we're also going to ask them about their food history, recipes and food traditions that are in their family, and also some knowledge on gardening or the farm life. One of the great things about the community garden is not only that we're doing outreach to the community, but also that within Southwestern we're building bonds between students, between faculty, and between staff in this common shared space that people can come to and be outside of their regular setting in the classroom. And so the process of being able to donate food, being able to grow food, really takes a whole community. It's not just a one-person thing. We all meet on Saturdays and work out what we want to plant and learn from the land, like what is growing well and what isn't, what plants need, and in that way we're also engaging as a community, engaging with the ecosystem that we live in, and participating together in sharing food. And so I would just welcome you to come out and join us in that community process.
And I'm a sophomore. I'm an International Studies and Environmental Studies double major. And early in the fall semester, I was asked by the Boys and Girls Club if I was interested in starting a garden there. And that was a very cool proposal that they came to us. The garden, and what a cool project this is going to be for the kids. I'm spending this fall semester 2011 just getting to know the kids, and I've been going up to the Boys and Girls Club every Thursday from 4 to 5-ish and hanging out, helping them with homework. And what's been really rewarding for me is seeing my acceptance into the community grow as each visit happens, and just getting to read with them, playing Foursquare, and not even talking about the garden at all for the first couple weeks. And it was actually just brought up last week, the garden, and they signed up to come do a field trip to the Southwestern Community Garden. And so we are working on building that relationship, and it'd be great to have other students start coming and to foster that community as well. At first I was honored, and I thought that was really cool, and started to think more about what that project would mean. And as I learned more about the Boys and Girls Club, learned that it wouldn't just be a garden, but it would actually be a way for kids to learn about food and to learn about healthy habits, and a way to actually work at food insecurity issues from the ground up. Because currently the Boys and Girls Club, they have a food pantry, and on Fridays the kids generally fill up their backpacks and can take food home, and also it's open to people from the community. So it's not the food pantry also affects children, but it also is open to low socioeconomic status that are in the community can also just come into the food pantry at Boys and Girls Club on Fridays. And so when I was thinking about plans for this garden, I realized wow, the garden could actually produce from it could sustain and go into that food pantry as well, and how cool would it be for kids elementary and middle school age to plant a garden, to see things grow, to harvest it, and then take it home with them. This will give a direct visualization to kids about where their food is coming from, and I think make them more excited to eat healthy foods. And besides that, also give them the tools to maybe start a garden at their own house or start little plants, and it'll be a community issue, and a communities coming together to solve an issue of food insecurity in this neighborhood. This whole process, I've been reflecting on my own views of what community service is, and I feel like I've grown a lot, just personal growth as far as what community service means. In high school, it was centered around book drives and making sandwiches to give to churches, and things that I thought that people needed. But what this showed to me was a group coming and saying this is what we need. And so instead of giving someone something that you think that they need, it's better to ask someone what do you want and what do you need, and how can I help you do that? And showing in a relationship, if you are have this civic engagement mind, to think about what's the best way that you can help a community by responding to their needs. And the best way to do that is to ask. And then not only that, but to form a relationship with someone, and it's amazing how much you can get out of the relationship that you're forming with with the community that you're working with as well.